Hello and welcome to my class. Today we are going to discuss the poem Amanda written by Robin Klein. Robin Klein was born in the year 1936 in Australia. She is a well-known fiction writer. She is a specialist in writing stories for children and young adults. The protagonist of this poem, Amanda, is a preteen girl. She is around 12 or 13 years old. This poem revolves around the theme how young children need their space, how they need their own independence. Okay, now let's have a look at the poem. Don't bite your nails, Amanda. I already told you that the protagonist of this poem is Amanda and her mother is talking to her. She's giving her orders, don't bite your nails, Amanda. So we come to know that Amanda has this bad and unhygienic habit of biting her nails and her mother doesn't seem to like it. So she is ordering Amanda not to do that. Then her mother says, don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda. Hunching is not keeping your back straight. It's like bending your back. As people get old, you must have seen old people having hunchbacks. Amanda's mother is telling her not to hunch her back. Stop that slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. Slouching is sitting in a very lazy manner. So Amanda's mother is asking Amanda to sit straight. Amanda's mother knows that biting nails is a very bad habit and it can even lead to stomach pain as the dirt from the nail enters the gut. Hunching and slouching can alter the body posture of young children. Her mother is giving some serious instructions and advice to Amanda. But what is Amanda doing? Amanda is in her own world. There is a languid emerald sea where the sole inhabitant is me, a mermaid drifting blissfully. So these three lines are given within parentheses, and this girl is in her imaginary world. She is imagining, she is daydreaming. Languid means relaxed. She is in a relaxed emerald sea. Emerald is a precious stone. It is green in color. So she is comparing the green sea with emerald. The color of the sea is green. It's emerald green, where the sole inhabitant is me. I am the only inhabitant. There is no other person around her in the entire sea, and she is the only resident or the dweller of the sea. And she is not in human form. She is a mermaid. Mermaid is half fish and half human. The upper body is like that of a woman and the lower body is like a fish. That is called as a mermaid. And even after becoming a mermaid, she will not swim very fast. She will drift. She will move very slowly and blissfully. Blissfully is happily. So she is imagining herself as a mermaid who's drifting happily in an emerald sea. Now back to reality. Did you finish your homework, Amanda? Her mother is talking to her. Her mother is continuing, but this girl is on and off. She is in her imaginary world on and off. So what do you think is the answer for the question? Did you finish your homework, Amanda? You all know, right? Did you tidy your room, Amanda? The answer is, of course, no. I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda, and her mother has already given her instructions to clean her shoes. But do you think Amanda would have done that? Even though Amanda's mother knows the answer for these questions, it becomes a habit for all the parents to ask such questions to their children. And Amanda's mother seems to be very nagging and dominant. Though she has very good intentions, she wants her daughter to follow certain schedule and have some good habits, but she keeps on asking questions again and again. Just see what Amanda imagines herself as. Again, the next three lines are within parentheses, and she imagines, I am an orphan, roaming the street. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. Who is called as an orphan? A child who has been abandoned or a child whose parents are dead. That child is called as an orphan. Amanda is so dejected, she's so sad and she doesn't like her present situation that she calls herself as an orphan. Looks like she doesn't even want her parents around her and she'll be happy to be an orphan without parents and she will be roaming the streets. She doesn't want a house where she's ordered and controlled. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. Bare feet, she doesn't even want shoes to cover her feet. She can walk with bare feet. And while walking, she will be making patterns. Pattern is a design repeated in the same order with soft dust. So while walking, she will be making patterns with her bare feet. And here, hushed bare feet means even while walking, her feet will not make any sound. It will not produce any noise. The silence is golden. Silence is more valuable. It's like gold because at home her mother is constantly talking and there is no silence at home. So her world is going to be silent and that silence is going to be very valuable to her. The freedom is sweet and the freedom which she is going to enjoy on the streets as an orphan is going to be sweet. It's going to be a pleasant experience for her which she is going to enjoy. Now again her mother is continuing. Don't eat that chocolate, Amanda. Remember your acne, Amanda? So now Amanda seems to be eating chocolates and her mother is telling her don't eat chocolates. Don't you remember that you have acne on your face? Acne is pimple on your face and we all know that chocolates, especially fatty food and sweets, can aggravate acne and her mother doesn't want her daughter to have acne all over her face. Will you please look at me when I'm speaking to you, Amanda? And her mother notices that Amanda is not paying any concentration towards what her mother is talking to her. She's not even looking at her mother. So her mother is pleading, please look at me. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Pay some attention to what I'm telling to you. But do you think she will listen to her mother? Again, she is imagining, I am Rapunzel. I have not a care. Life in a tower is tranquil and rare. I'll certainly never let down my bright hair. Rapunzel is a very famous fairy tale character, and I think most of you must have watched the Disney movie Tangled based on Rapunzel's story. And she imagines herself as Rapunzel. I am Rapunzel. I don't have a care. I don't care about anything. Life in a tower is tranquil and rare. Tranquil is very peaceful. I want to live in a tower like the way Rapunzel lived. Not everyone gets the chance to live in a tall tower alone, so it's rare. I'll certainly never let down my braid hair. The fairy tale Rapunzel, a witch takes Rapunzel when she's a baby away from her real parents, and the witch takes care of Rapunzel, and when she comes to a certain age, the witch locks Rapunzel in a tall tower. And Rapunzel always thinks that the witch is her mother. And whenever the witch wants to get into the tower, she tells Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. And Rapunzel puts her long, bright, golden hair outside the window, which is the only entrance to the tower. And the witch climbs the tower holding Rapunzel's hair, and when the witch wants to get down, she holds Rapunzel's hair again and she gets down. Though Amanda is imagining herself as Rapunzel, she's saying that I'll never let my hair down, I'll never let my bright hair down, and I will never let my witch mother climb into the tower. I will never give her a chance to ruin my tranquil life. So now let's see what her mother says. Stop that sulking at once, Amanda. So her mother notices that she's sad, she's sulking. So she wants Amanda to stop that sulking. You're always so moody, Amanda. And her mother says, you're always moody, your mood keeps on changing. Anyone would think that I nagged at you, Amanda. So if anyone watches us, anyone watches me talking to you, they might think that I'm scolding you. What do you think? Do you think that Amanda's mother is really nagging at her? Actually, her mother means good to her. Actually, mothers want their children to have good habits, to sit properly, to do their homework, to study well, to keep their surroundings tidy, and to look happy. It's not a bad thing for a mother to expect such things from their children. Amanda's mother can also change her approach. Instead of constantly criticizing her and commanding her and asking her to do certain things in her way, she can try to understand Amanda's position, because Amanda is growing and she is a preteen and there's a lot of hormonal changes in her body, lots of physical changes and emotional changes in a small girl's life. So Amanda's mother should give Amanda her own space and let her be free. So this is what Robin Klein is telling us through this poem, Amanda. Now let's have a look at the figures of speech used in this poem. First, we will look at the rhyme scheme used in this poem. Look at the first stanza. The first line, second line and the fourth line are ending with the word Amanda. So there the rhyme will be A, and the third line is ending with a different sound, which will be B. So this pattern is seen in all the stanzas that are uttered by Amanda's mother. Look at the second stanza, which Amanda imagines. All the last words rhyme the same. See, me, blissfully, they all end with the sound E. So there the rhyme scheme is C, C, C. So if you look at the whole thing, the rhyme scheme will be A, A, B, A, C, C, C. So this is getting repeated throughout the poem. The next literary device is Anaphora. The first line and the second line, both the lines start with the same word, don't. And if you look at the third stanza, the first two lines start with the word did. Actually, it starts with did you. So this is also Anaphora. Now we will have a look at the metaphors used in this poem. Metaphor is an indirect comparison between two totally different things. In Emerald Sea, the green color of the sea is compared to the green color of the precious stone emerald. So this is a metaphor. So the next metaphor is I am an orphan. She is comparing herself to an orphan. The way she wants to live the carefree life is compared to the life of an orphan. The next one is silence is golden. In her world, silence is very precious. So she's comparing it to the precious metal gold. Next metaphor is freedom is sweet. So she longs for freedom. She is in a house where she is controlled and confined. And in her world, when she is free, she thinks the experience is sweet. And the next metaphor is I am Rapunzel. Here she is comparing herself to a fairy tale character Rapunzel, who lived in a tall tower all by herself, just the way Amanda wants to live. Next, we will have a look at the alliteration used in this poem. Stop that slouching and sit up straight. In this, the sound sir is repeated 4 times. This is alliteration. In tower is tranquil, the sound t is repeated, and stop that sulking, the sound sir is repeated. Next poetic device used here is allusion. I am a mermaid. Mermaid is a character found usually in stories. So they have referred to a character from another work of art. So it is an allusion. And then I am Rapunzel is also an allusion because this is a character from a fairy tale and it has been referred here. Next poetic device is repetition. You find the word Amanda getting repeated often, and then words like did, don't, they all get repeated again and again. And then you can see a lot of visual imagery here. You can imagine Amanda drifting in an emerald sea like a mermaid, roaming the streets with bare feet like an orphan, and then Amanda all locked up in the tower like Rapunzel. So these are the visual imageries used in this poem. I hope you all understood the poem very well. For more such videos, hit the subscribe button, keep the bell icon on, like the video and share the video with your classmates and friends. See you in next class.